Thank you for having me, Liz, and happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks
Sunday.
very much. So, you know, it's interesting. I know you've said that this is not about revenge for you, but the symmetry is amazing. I mean, your father had, 40 years ago, had ethics charges against him. He had a fight, much in the same way that you're seeing with Charlie Rangel. Did you watch the charges come out from the ethics committee when they were lodged against Rangel the other day?
I did. I watched some of it.
And how did you feel? I mean, how old were you when your father went through this?
I was very young, and at that time I was watching cartoons, so I didn't see any of that happen. I do know the history as though I lived it, and the fact is he was excluded from taking the oath of office in 1967, took the case to the Supreme Court, and won, was vindicated. And then, you know, Rangel replaced him fair and square. That was a long, long time ago. This has nothing to do with that. The fact is that everyone knows a change is coming, and I want to be part of that change. Listen, for the last 20 years, I've been in public service in the 1990s in the New York City Council, and over the last 10 years in the State Assembly. I am leaving the State Assembly because they run on the same day as the congressional primary, and so I'm leaving the State Assembly. This is not, you know, anything but a very serious opportunity to take my message and my public service throughout all of Northern Manhattan, many of the neighborhoods that I've already represented in nearly 20 years.
But your father fought very hard, and I know that you remember it, and I know obviously you're a student of it, even though you were young at the time. Rangel is fighting very hard too to preserve himself, and yet you think he should resign. Why is that?
Yes, the fact is that he lost the chairman of Ways and Means. The fact is his age, 80 years old. What is the point of running another 2-year term? Many people believe that it would be far better for the congressional district and for this nation if he resigned, if he retired with some honor and some dignity.
But your dad lost his committee.
Well, you know, I'm not, again, every case is different, and if you start, you know, making parallels, we can stay here all day. But the fact is, this is what we're looking at. This is 2010, not 1970. And in 2010, everyone knows the change is coming. Everyone knows the congressman has already lost the chair of Ways and Means. And we honor his legacy. Listen, I would be more than happy to honor his past, honor his legacy. 40 years undoubtedly creates one. But we must invest in the future. It is time to turn the page. We would like to do it with Congressman Rangel's blessing. He should allow his constituents in this nation and spare many of the constituents who love him for so many years the embarrassment and the agony of a public trial that could result in his expulsion or perhaps criminal charges down the road. You never know. So it would be far better for him to resign right now and just let us turn the page to a future.
You know, he's a veteran guy. I mean, 40 years in Congress is an enormously long time. And even though he's been stripped of the most powerful position, of the most powerful committee position, tax writing position, through which all of these bills go, and he is really, you know, obviously has this blot against him, he still has a lot of relationships, and if he was to be reelected, he probably could still do quite a bit for the district. You would be a freshman. I mean, what could you do for the district that would be more than what Rangel can do?
Well, the fact is, you can't compare me, I'm not even in Congress yet, to a 40-year member of Congress. Obviously, he has a legacy. Longevity alone creates one. But the relationships have been fading and fading away. The same relationships he's had for 40 years or 20 years or the last 10 years are the same ones who asked him to resign from the Committee of Ways and Means as chairman. Those are the same relationships that are returning money back to him or giving it to charity. And those are the same relationships that are now judging him, if you will, and may have to expel him or you know, censure him, fine him in some sort of way. The fact is those relationships are fading away because people know the best thing for Charlie Rangel would be to resign, to retire with some honor, with some dignity.
Well, you know, though, you're running, of course, you've been, as you mentioned, you were a councilman, and then after that you were in the Assembly. That's how you and I know each other. And for a while there, you hadn't introduced any bills at all. And so when you say, for example, that you would run on your record of service, how could you say to voters, well, look at my record, when you hadn't managed for a number of years there to actually get any legislation passed?
Well, throughout those same number of years, I fought to repeal the Rockefeller drug laws. I was one of the leaders in the fight to increase the minimum wage in New York State. joined and led with a group of labor and religious coalition in 40-hour fasts every year. Not eating for 40 hours is not easy, but we did what we had to do to put the pressure on New York State, and we finally raised the minimum wage. I went to Vieques and was jailed to defend the principles of freedom so that island would stop being bombed by the United States Navy. I went to Vieques and was jailed with Reverend Al Sharpton and Jose Rivera and Roberto Ramirez and many others. And so there are many things that people could appreciate. I was able to persuade Hunter College, part of the City University system, into bringing a new campus into East Harlem, my community. It's the first CUNY campus built in northern Manhattan in God knows how many years, 50, 60 years. And so, and many other things, Borinquen Health Center and so on and so forth. I passed a law known as CRE, Senior Citizen Rent Increase Exemption, which allows seniors on a fixed income that are paying way too much in that income in rent to stop rent increases. And so we have worked for nearly 20 years with an open door policy. One thing I told myself when I started in 1991, elected to the city council, I was not going to become just another politician. And hopefully, by the grace of God and the support of the people, I have done my best to serve the public, not to serve any political interest. I'm not beholden to any county leader or to any congressman or to any district leader. You don't have to be a district leader or a member of a political clubhouse to talk to me. Anyone can come in, and that's the way it should be, and that's how I will continue to be as a member of the United States Congress.
You know, also in your past, you've had